Imge. Really well done for submitting some more work for feedback. You're progressing really well with every piece of writing that you're handing in, so it's just going to show that it's working. This task was to write a letter, and your task was you've eaten at a restaurant and it was such a terrible experience that you've decided to inform the manager by letter of what happened and that you want your money back. Things to include facts. You need to be concise but explain what happened. Polite, no one responds to insults. Outline what you wish from this, what do you want to happen, and firmness. Okay, so you want to be taken seriously. Let's see what you've got then. Dear Sarah Madam, good start there. I'm writing to you in order to inform you about the recent experience of mine in your restaurant. I had dinner with my 2 friends on the 1st December. The reason behind I reached you is threefold. Firstly, the host kept us waiting almost 1 hour while did not offer us seats in the bar section as well. Okay, let's start with that bit. So I'm writing to you. Okay, I would say here, I would take out in order to. I'm writing to you to inform you about my recent bad experience, for example, in your restaurant. Okay, I had dinner with my 2 friends on the 1st of December. Now, when we're writing dates, we don't need to use the word of, so we just say on 1st December. Okay. The reason behind the reason the evening was a bad experience, okay, I would use here, is threefold. Firstly, the host kept us waiting almost an hour instead of 1 hour, an hour, an hour, and did not offer us seats in the bar section. Consequently, we were not able to sit at a table until around 8:15 p.m, even though I had a reservation for 7 p.m. Secondly, it took another 20 minutes for the waiter to come to our table to take our orders, and his attitude was instead of attitude, I would say, and he was very rude. Okay. Thirdly, when the meals came, I did not receive what I ordered in the first place. Naturally, I demanded the meal that I initially ordered. So naturally, I requested, okay, the meal that I had initially ordered, but received an outburst from the waiter instead of I would say instead of apologies. Okay. Overall, the dinner was a terrible experience for us, and I would like to ask you to reach to you in order to remedy the situation. So we don't normally use to reach to you because it doesn't make a huge amount of sense in English. So was a terrible experience for us, and I would like you to remedy this situation. Okay. Your restaurant was one of the favourite restaurants of mine. So your restaurant was one of my favourite restaurants for a very long time. But this experience made me feel cheated. We paid $220 in total, but the service we received was far below that price. Okay, good. I therefore suggest that I be given a full refund in order to correct the situation. Please find the bill of the dinner attached for your information. Okay. I would put here, please find our bill attached for your reference. I await your prompt response. Yours faithfully, Imge. Good. Okay, well done. So just a couple of things to change in there. Like we said, a few bits of word order. When you've used of mine, I would be careful using that. Normally we would have that before. So to inform you about my recent terrible experience in your restaurant, or this one, my favourite restaurants for a very long time. Okay, so be careful with using mine. We don't use it so often. As well, that phrase to reach to you, normally I would say to reach out to you, but in this context it doesn't really work. So I would say here, I would like to ask you to remedy the situation. Okay. Okay, good. You've done everything that was in the question as well, which is great. What I would do as well, normally in a letter like this, we would have an opening sentence, which would be this first one, and that would be alone. Okay, so because this paragraph is quite long as well, I would have this as the opening sentence, and then a new paragraph, and have the reason behind our terrible evening is threefold. Okay, so that would be a new paragraph down here, and then a third paragraph here. Okay, so structurally, I just break it down into 3 sections instead of 2. Okay, but otherwise, really very well done. Everything is very clear. Just a couple of bits of word order and that use of mine, as we said. But yeah, well done. Good work there. So next you've got your essay piece, and your question was, today the internet and TV have created the chance for ordinary people to become famous. Is it a positive or negative development in your opinion? To what extent do you support this development? Okay, so since the advent of the internet, experts throughout both the developed and developing world have debated whether the instant fame through the internet and TV has negative effects or not. Some people believe that ordinary individuals becoming celebrities have negative effects on societal settings. However, I strongly disagree. This essay will argue the issue by using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, well done. Good use of the recommended phrases there as well. Since the advent of the internet... Okay. This first sentence, the only thing that is striking me is the fact that we're talking about the internet first, but then we're bringing in the TV as well. So it might be worth acknowledging both the TV and the internet from the offset, so that it's clear to the examiner that you're not focusing just on the internet, but you're looking at both. Okay. Otherwise, it is a good sentence there. Okay, this one. Some people believe that ordinary individuals becoming celebrities. Here, instead of have, we'd say has, because the noun here is actually a noun phrase. It's the idea. Ordinary individuals becoming celebrities is the idea that you're talking about instead of the individuals. So we would say has instead of have. Okay. This essay will argue the issue by using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, well done. Good. So, on one hand, there is ample evidence that more and more people want to get a chance to be famous through internet tools or TV programs. Okay? The reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, it is a very direct and fast way of becoming a celebrity. Secondly, it is, instead of rather, take that one out and say it is easy to gain fame when compared to the traditional methods, yet it is hard to preserve it. Okay. People who became a celebrity overnight instead of a night, overnight. So people who become celebrities overnight tend to exceed the limits of societal norms to remain famous, therefore having a negative influence over the youngsters. Okay. Okay, good. For example, recent A recent study by the UK government demonstrated that over 60% of all high school students in London want to become an influencer through Instagram or YouTube, and half of them would be willing to share extreme contents in order to preserve the fame. Thus, it is conclusively clear that if such a perception gained in popularity, there would be more severe implications for the teenagers who follow the one's lead. Okay. Now then, this paragraph is a little bit confusing, and I will tell you why. So the question asks us, is it a positive or negative development? Okay, and in this paragraph, you're moving quite a lot between positive and negative. Okay, so positive, it's a direct and fast way of becoming celebrity. Negative, it's hard to preserve it. Positive, it's easy to gain fame. Okay, so it becomes a little bit unclear as to whether you're supporting that it's a positive development or a negative development. Alright, so however, when you go a little bit further into this, you start to talk more about the negative influences on young people. So I would change this paragraph to talk about the negative impacts and keep all of your evidence as negative impacts rather than confusing the two of them. Okay, you have got good examples in here though of Instagram and YouTube, which is good. So it's just a case of making that paragraph clearer to be about the negatives of fame through the internet and the TV. Okay. So then you move on to the next one. On the other hand, internet tools and TV shows open the horizon as a new branch of businesses over the last decades. This one, broaden horizons for businesses over the last decades. This is largely because the younger generation tend to work through online tools, and gaining popularity is one of the best ways to be successful in terms of earning money. For instance, an extensive study conducted by Oxford University showed that the top 10 YouTubers in the UK earn more than the top 30 chief executive officers annually. Consistent with this line of thinking, that there are certificated courses, so certified courses of becoming a YouTuber or blogger in most universities in London. Okay, hence it is possible to state beyond doubt that the internet tools or TV programs are attracting a lot of people in the road of fame. Meanwhile, the system creates its own economy. Okay, right. So again, we're not quite clear whether we're talking about positives or whether we're talking about negatives of fame on the internet and TV. The structure that seems to be coming out in your essay is that this paragraph is about how fame on the internet and TV is easy to get, but it's damaging and hard to preserve. So this is all negatives. This one is talking about how people can become famous through YouTube, and that they can earn a lot and also study at universities in London to do this. Okay, so that is showing the positives of becoming famous on the internet and through the TV. So what we need to do is to make this much clearer. Okay, so with your first paragraph, opening with something like, on one hand, there is ample evidence that more and more people want to get a chance to be famous through the internet or TV because it is fast. However, there are many negatives to becoming famous through these methods. Okay, and then talk about the negatives. The second one would be despite, for example, despite the negatives mentioned, for example, there are some positive routes to fame on the internet and TV, and then you would talk about your YouTubers in the UK and how much they are earning. Okay, just to make it clearer. Yeah, okay, so just to make those two clearer when you do those paragraphs. The last sentence here, I don't quite understand. So hence, it is possible to state beyond doubt that the internet or TV is attracting a lot of people in the road of fame. Meanwhile, system creates its own economy. So this last part I'm not sure about. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that one. So it might be that you just need to go back and describe it in a different way. Okay. To conclude, although there are important challenges to be considered, I firmly believe that the benefits of the internet and TV on people about the chance of becoming famous outweigh the disadvantages. It is predicted that celebrity economy of the internet and TV will increasingly grow in importance. Okay, I firmly believe that the benefits of, I would say, benefits of fame through the internet and TV outweigh the disadvantages, just to make that one clearer. Okay, so lots of really good points in here, and you do use some good evidence. It's a case of making your essay more streamlined. In a way, when we write in an exam, we have to kind of presume that the examiner doesn't know what we're talking about, okay, and that we have to make everything really clear. Okay, so phrases like there are many negative impacts of fame on the internet and television, or there are many positive sides to becoming famous through the internet and television. So we're always signposting the reader to show them which part we're talking about. We don't want the reader to be confused as to whether we're talking about the good sides or the bad sides of whichever issue we're dealing with. Okay, so make it really clear in those 2 paragraphs. Alright, 2 good pieces of writing, just a few tweaks to make there, and a little bit of your structure in your essay, but good work, well done.